All right, so we're making crab cake egg rolls. Look how beautiful these look. I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing. Welcome to Covered Cultured Cooking, a part of Cultured Unplugged. You already know me as Chris, your advisor, your mentor in the kitchen and your relationships and your friends and your family, all types of things. Make sure you're right and be the best you. So we're making crab cake egg rolls. It's a Maryland favorite. It's a Baltimore favorite. It's everywhere favorite. It's popping up in restaurants. You've seen a lot of videos on them, but you haven't seen this one. I promise you it's going to be amazing. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I want to make sure that you never miss an episode. So always stay locked and loaded with me and unplugged. All right, so to make crab cake egg rolls, we need all the right ingredients. First of all, I want to say I'm thankful for you for sticking with me through all the videos. I know I do a lot of videos that are serious about topics that are about engaging you and getting you right. But this is also the meaning of getting to the right fun stuff like I promised in the last video. So you're at Covered Cultured Cooking. I wanna make sure you say that right, Covered Cultured Cooking. Because right here, this is where we make all the wonderful stuff to impress your friends, your family, your lady, you know, whatever. You wanna make sure that you are a boss in the kitchen. This is how you do it. So of course I got my outfit up, you know, I got all my ingredients laid out. And we're making, of course, today crab cake egg rolls. And what's cool about this is that it's a simple dish. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, and it doesn't really cost a whole lot to make as well. So if you're looking for something that's a quick little fun snack for dinner, lunch, you know, something you want to do on the weekend, this is gonna be This is gonna be it right here. So let's get into it. Why are we gonna even start this? So of course we need the lump imperial crab meat, okay? So you can find this, you know, Food Lion, Giant, wherever you shop at, local grocery, and you want to make sure you have that. Now you want to have that nice little bounce to it. You know what I mean? It should smell good, fresh, come in a can, you're good to go, all right? Then, of course, you need all the dried ingredients, of course. So you need your onion. So I've got my yellow onion already chopped, good to go. I've got a little bit of about 3 medium eggs. So I've got my eggs right here all whipped up. Next, we have some garlic. Now, you always want to have garlic. Black folks love putting garlic in everything. Trust me, I do it all the time. This particular garlic right here is already minced and good to go, okay? So you want to make sure you have that. You need your scallions. Some people call it green onions. I call it scallions. Scallions is what we call it. So this is what we're going to have in those dried ingredients. All right, and then next, of course, you need a little bit of zest, okay? Something sexy. And it's going to come from your lemon juice. So your lemon juice is going to give it that wake up type of flavor, okay? Next, of course, we've got paprika. I have some garlic powder, some seafood magic. If you don't know about this, it comes in the poultry kind. I believe they got a blackened salmon version, and of course, we got this one. It's really, really good. It's pretty expensive, but it's good, I promise you. A little bit of Creole season, just a little bit, no salt in that. I do have some salt. We don't want to use a whole lot. Black pepper and a little bit of mustard powder. So all these different ingredients. And one I can't forget, a drop of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. It's kind of a weird word, you know, just even saying it, it's like, okay, put them together. But I'm telling you, this right here, it also gives it that kick. Last but not least, you need your dried, you know, your base, okay? So to make that crab cake, that crab meat itself to be what it needs to be in that crab roll, or in that crab egg roll wraps, you want to have the club crackers. It's buttery, it's flavorful, and once I actually smash all this together, it becomes that base for the crab cake. And then finally, you definitely need to have your egg roll wraps, okay? It should look something like this. Some stores have it in different types of brands and looks, but this one right here, I'm telling you, it's easy. I found it at Safeway. I'm in DMV, Maryland area, so you maybe see a Safeway in your area, then you want to pick up this right here. It should already come, you know, floured up and everything, you know, a little flour and everything, stuff like that. So this is pretty much what you're looking for. Now, it comes a little bit bigger than I'm holding it right here. So I had to cut it maybe about 1/2 inch, you know, on either side, doesn't matter, but you want it to be just the right size. So I'm going to show you that once we actually get into it, all right? So let's get started. To do what we need to do today, we need to have all the dried ingredients in the crab meat first. So I'm going to take some Old Bay. Put some Old Bay in there. Get that flavorful. And we're going to get some paprika in here. So a little bit of paprika. And trust me, when I tell you, it's a lot of what I'm pouring in here. It's usually about a tablespoon to 1/2 tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon of what you need. A little bit of garlic powder. seafood magic. All right, so seafood magic, because I'm telling you, you want that flavor. You want it to really pop. All right, so we have to put some salt in there. Not a whole lot, because we ain't trying to kill nobody. We're gonna put some black pepper in there too. I keep saying black pepper, but it is black power too. Of course, we got ground mustard. Okay, so a little bit of that, a couple smidges of that. And I did say all the dried ingredients first. So of course we need to have our scallions that we talked about earlier. So a little bit of scallions in there. Telling you, it's gonna taste really good. I promise you, I don't know who you impressing, but she about to do something. I'm telling you. Sorry, we got some garlic in there. I'm gonna put that garlic in there just right. Don't need a whole lot. Don't need a whole lot. All right, next, we need to create that base like we talked about. Of course, to start to do that, we need those club crackers. So we got the club crackers going. Man, I'm telling you, I'm so glad that we even got back together and decided, hey, let's make a video, because the cooking stuff, it just works. I love to cook. If I can be a mentor to you and put you on where you need to be, then this is where we at. So you want to just smash the crackers in there really fine if you can, as fine as you can, okay? This is all the dried stuff. Now you kind of know that you have enough based on the actual consistency of the crab cake. Some people put a whole lot. I tend to just put what I feel like is enough, and you'll kind of judge it as we add in the eggs and we add in the honey mustard, because honey mustard is another piece to this as a flavor that we want, okay? And then also the mayonnaise. So, all right, so our crab cake starting to form a little bit with the club crackers in there. We want to go ahead and now add in the mayo with the eggs that's already scrambled, and then we're going to mix in some of this honey mustard in there. All of it gives a nice little flavor to it, and it's just what we need. So go ahead and make this popping. We're going to grab maybe about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons actually, of this mayo, and you just want to start stirring. Start stirring in there. I know it looks kind of crazy. Why is it in there like this? I promise you we're doing the right thing, all right? So you want to just go ahead and whip that up with the mayo, because we're creating that base, we're creating that flavor. We're getting it just the way we want it to. All right, so honey mustard, you can get the French's, okay? And all the ingredients are also in the description, guys, so don't feel like you gotta keep up with this video and be like, dang, what did he say? What did he do? Whatever. You can just read the description, whatever, and you'll be good to go. So we put a little bit of squirt of that honey mustard in there, and it has that really good flavor. I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing. Once we go ahead and put this in here, I'm telling you, it's gonna be wonderful. All right, so it should kind of look like this, like a light yellow base. Look at that, it should be smooth. Should be real smooth, okay? And we'll know if we have enough. We might need to add a little bit. That's okay if you gotta add a little bit of mustard over here and there. But you wanna put it all in there just like that. Just like that, okay. Then, let's top it off with a little bit of zest, a little bit of lemon juice. So we put a little bit of lemon juice in there, okay? All right, so everything is good to go. We're gonna take this nice little spoon and just put it all together. It should be kind of like a, I don't know, like a base of that's not sticky per se, but it should really be able to be formed. You should be able to mold it, okay? Our oil, if we have oil over there also, that's getting hot, so we want to make sure we get that nice and hot, because we're gonna put these in the egg roll wraps and then drop them in the oil, okay? So make sure you get them really good. We may need to add a little bit of crackers in here, because what's important is you want it to be the right consistency, okay? Not too dry, not too wet, but just enough, kind of like pancake batter, or if you ever made a salmon cake before, you seen your grandma, you seen your mother cooking or whatever, it should be kind of like that kind of base. So it's looking a little bit too wet, so we want to go ahead and dry it up just a little bit and add in a little bit more of the club crackers. I'm telling you, sometimes it's okay. You may need to add a little bit, you know, but it's always better to be able to either add than necessarily subtract. Because, or, you know, it may be a little difficult to try to add something to kind of throw off a flavor. So you always want to make sure that, hey, you're just adding in if it ain't just right, okay? So now it's starting to get where we want it to be. A little bit dry, a little bit wet, almost like a pancake batter, okay? And look at that. I know you singing like, hey, I hear how you do that. I'm like, yeah, you know what we doing over here. Okay, so we got onions in here, we've got the scallions in here, and I always like to repeat what I'm saying, what I'm doing, because you don't want a situation where you miss something and then you regret it. So we have everything in here that we need, and I'm kind of looking at my seasonings. We need a little bit of chives, so we're gonna add a little bit of chives in here. All right, and just for kicks, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Old Bay. Just a little smidget, because hey, I feel like I need a little bit more, okay? You may not want to have it in yours. You may feel like, hey, what I put in is enough. That's fine. But what I want for this whole situation, I want it to be just right, okay? So now, see how it's kind of sounding? What that sound like to you? Sound good, don't it? I know it does. So, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Just right. I know I'm wild, but hey, it's my kitchen, not yours. All right, so what we gonna ready and do, I know y'all laughing at home, I'm telling you, but it's just the start of better things. I'm trying to tell you, covered culture cooking. All right, so everything is pretty much ready. The crab meat is already sitting in the flavors and all that stuff. We're gonna let that sit to the side for a moment, and we're gonna get them black gloves on, okay? Our hands are already clean. I hope before you even started and doing anything that you did, wash your hands. Wash your hands is essential, but we're about to get the black gloves going on because we're gonna be mixing in with that flour, and that flour can kind of get all over the place, and then we're gonna be messing with this oil. So, get my black gloves on, and then we'll go ahead and get it started, all right? All right, so we got the crab meat already set and sitting in the flavors and all that good stuff we did. Now we just gotta fill the meat in the wrap, okay? So real simple to do that. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm doing. So follow with me as we do it. It's real simple, I promise you. You set the egg roll wraps, okay? You can do it one by one. Make sure it's on your cutting board, all right? So it's on your cutting board. You're gonna take egg wash, okay? So you got a little brush here or whatever. You're gonna take this egg wash and you're just gonna do it just like that, like a little Bob Ross. You know what I mean? Just get the sides just wet on the corners just a little bit because it needs to stick once you fold it into an egg roll. What's your favorite egg roll? Mine is usually shrimp egg roll. Some people like vegetable. I'm pretty much seafood all the way with it, but this is actually really how they hook this up, okay? So we got a little bit of this crab meat and we're gonna mold it, just put a little bit, put it right in the center just like that, all right? You wanna make sure you fill it. So watch me when I do this. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it like I'm rolling a Dutch. All right, so we're gonna roll this in here, fold the sides, all right? Fold the sides. You might even get like a little vegetable egg roll side, you know, look of it, and just roll. Now look how that's coming out. Oh my goodness. That's an egg roll, folks. That is an egg roll. So we got the one done, and we're gonna be making these egg rolls. So I'm putting the meat in the middle. I'm just putting the egg wash on the sides, okay? Putting the eggs, we want it to stick. This is the easiest way to do it. All right, so meat's in there. I'm gonna close the sides, and then we're gonna roll it in. So as you're rolling it, just keep on tucking the sides in. And it becomes a little smaller, that's okay. You can fatten it up, but I want to make sure that we have enough for everybody because we got some hungry people over here too. All right, so we want to go ahead and do exactly like I'm doing. so we are back and we are getting ready to go ahead and get these egg rolls in this oil. So the oil's hot. It's been sitting there on medium for about a good maybe 25-30 minutes. So I already know it's gonna be popping in just a moment. So what we're gonna do, real carefully, don't let this oil pop in your face. I know how you used to do back in the day. You'd be all scared. No, we're not scared about this. So we just gotta do it the right way. Don't drop it in so fast. Take your time with it, all right? Food is meant to be, when you're making food, cooking food, it's meant to take your time. So everything's all rolled in like we showed you, right? We put all the meat in there and everything's good to go. The next part of it is dropping it just like that, okay? So it should start getting nice and cooking, and it's gonna be getting to a nice golden brown. You want it to be a nice, healthy golden brown. All right, so our egg rolls is sitting there and it's starting to bubble and it's starting to sizzle, and it'll cook the crab meat as it is on the inside, and also the egg roll on the outside. You don't want to be too hot and it burns the outside of the egg roll too fast, and then it just looks crazy, and everybody's barking you because you done burned everything. So what you want to do though, see how it's starting to bubble up? Come on over here, come in a little close. I want to show you. See, it's starting to bubble up nicely like that. You want it to go ahead and bubble, okay? You want it to do all that it's doing right now. All right, I'm dropping a few at a time. And I'm telling you, you want it to be a nice golden brown. It's okay if one or two of these was like real, like linky, skinny. That's okay. You just want to start somewhere, and then eventually you'll get it to where it's even nice and bigger. And boom. So just dropping them in. And drop them in, as long as you got enough space in your pot, you're pretty much good to go. All right. So we want that in there, and we're gonna let this sit in there for about 15 minutes. It usually don't take that long. We want the oil is nice and hot, but give it some time. Don't force it, don't rush it. You'll know as it's browning that it's pretty much good to go. Okay, so we got a nice healthy amount of egg rolls in there. We're gonna let this sit in there for about a good 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes. And as it's cooking, and make sure it's kind of getting a little bit hotter on this oil. As it's cooking, then you'll want to go ahead and turn it a few times, because you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute, because these about to get nice and browned out. So stick with me for a few minutes, don't go anywhere. Okay, so while the egg rolls is basically fermenting in that oil and getting browned out, we want to make a sauce drizzle. So real simple to do that. You can go ahead and take some butter, nice little tablespoon of it. Make sure this is hot and ready, but it's okay if it's not. So we got some butter in there, and then we're gonna take a little bit of onions. So a little bit of onions for this as well. Put that in there. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're making a sauce. You're making something that's flavorful. This is the best way to do it. So we're gonna take the butter, the onion, the same seafood magic, the paprika, the garlic powder, the chives, the Old Bay seasoning, using parsley for garnish. You don't put parsley in what you're doing. You're just using it for the last step. The black pepper, okay? So we're gonna put the black pepper in there. We have a cup of half and half, so that's gonna be the actual base of the sauce. And we're gonna fill it in this compartment right here. And then we got a little bit of salt and Sazon for a little bit of color, because we're gonna kind of give it like an orangey color too. But it's gonna be real simple. And then lastly as well, what you need in there is a tablespoon of cornstarch. Don't put too much of this, because I made a mistake one time and it got real thick and the whole thing was ruined. So the way to alleviate that is make sure you kind of really measure it out. Have a little measuring spoon right here. You're gonna put this, fill it up in here with this, and you're good to go. So all we're waiting on right now first is basically to get this butter, this onion, all that stuff, into a nice little liquid, and it's pretty much fermenting the season. And then we'll put everything in there, and then we'll drizzle it on our finished egg rolls. Come here and look at these egg rolls real quick. So see what I was telling you? Like it's gonna start to float, but it ain't ready yet. Don't get so happy and be like, oh, I made egg rolls. No, you want it to be browned out. So the way to do that, and don't worry, things happen all the time, stuff drop all the time. So, all right, so these egg rolls, you want to make sure it's browned out, okay? So we're getting there, it's not there yet. Don't get so excited that you're ready to pull them out. All right, we want to let these sit in there for a little bit, okay? So while everything is getting ready, I'll show you when the sauce is pretty much good to go. And we'll go ahead and cut these things open on a diagonal. And it's gonna be looking right. Stay tuned for us. So our egg rolls are done, and I'm so excited because we got to go ahead and split them right on open. So to do that, we're going to do that on a diagonal, okay? So just watch closely. So if you look in this pan right here, see how I just did that? Wow, look at that. Look at that. That looks amazing, and it's nice and hot. Split it on a diagonal. So we're going to cut it on a diagonal, okay? So you can get the presentation right. Okay, so boom, that's how you rocking it. There you go. Then go ahead and do this one, diagonal, same thing. Cut it down. Put this, lay it like that, and finally the last one. Oh man, inside is beautiful and it's looking amazing. So to be able to go ahead and hook this up, what we're gonna do is that sauce that we made, we're gonna drizzle it. Ooh. It's a little bit too much gush right there for us. Just a little bit too much gush, so that's what we're gonna do. And that's okay if things happen, things don't always work the way we want it to. So we're gonna go ahead and just lightly, just go ahead and pour a little bit of that on there. Okay? All right, that's beautiful. I promise you it's gonna be great. And you wanna drizzle a little bit of this parsley on there. This is that garnish we talked about. Okay, just a little bit, and that's what we got. Crab cake egg rolls. Look at how beautiful it is. I'm telling you, everybody here that's pretty much been watching me doing this is gonna love it. And I know your friends and family gonna love it too. So always stay tuned with me for another covered cultured cooking event. I promise you it's always gonna be good. It's always gonna taste good. Let's get it unplugged.